Hello, tribe. So, I have been personally, as well as multitudes of friends and clients that I'm working with, um, going through similar patterns, issues, however you want to word that. We're all going through very similar stages of life. And so, one, I will bring to everyone's attention that it was just brought to my attention, I had forgotten. Lion's Gate, a very powerful portal that we utilize over the summer months, it just came to a close the other day. And what this was a moving forward on our timeline. And so we were given options. Whether you were conscious of the options or not, it's up to you. But we were given options on how to move forward, and what we were willing to accept and what we weren't willing to accept on our new timeline, or if we chose to go backwards and relearn old patternings once again. And so, as a collective, we have been spiritually guided to work on coming into union. And what does that mean? So, union must start within self first, right? So, part of all of this, you'll hear a lot of people talking about soulmates and twin flames and all different stuff within relationships. And so we are moving forward in our timelines. Higher power, source, has asked us to come into healthy, loving union, and not just with a partner outside of us. Even more profoundly, it's about coming into union with Source Creator. It's about coming into union within ourselves, with the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. Those of us who have done the work and we're coming into this divine union within ourselves, we are capable of standing within our power, which often is terminized as, the term often utilized is the warrior, right? So coming into our power, owning our inner warrior, right? Being kings and queens, and I use that graciously. However, being within our own king and queen energy, knowing that we have other tribal members that we are working on, not just gathering, but I like to holding it down. We are holding it down. Those of us who are in these roles, we are doing our best to support other tribal members and giving them beacons of light to look forward to embody themselves, right? And so how did all of this kind of happen, right? In order for the new earth to actually be formatted, we needed to come into a union within ourselves, knowing that each one of us has a masculine and feminine energy that we own, okay? Within us, within our own personal creation, we have masculine and feminine energies. Those of us who may have been born feminine we'll say, put through a portal of energy that forced us to become very masculine, forced us to embody a lot of masculine energies. And through that portal, the intention was to come out the other side, cleansed and balanced, so that you could now embody your feminine and masculine energies within a soul union within yourself. Okay? Therefore, those that actually, we'll say, conquered or achieved, not only are they within a harmony within them own selves, they have a beautiful relationship with Source Creator, they are capable of drawing in other harmonious relationships. Okay? And it is someone who themselves have gone through the portal of a masculine and feminine energy, and they themselves have come into their own divine union of their soul's energy. So, with that being said, there are many who got stuck. I'm sad to say. During the portal, during the process of the portal, they got stuck. And a lot of people who have been seeking their divine counterpart, and this counterpart is somebody that, you know, has been on this earthly plane for however long, that they were meant to come into a union with this divine counterpart. And many of us have been holding prayer and doing a lot of work to call them forward, to call them in, so that we ourselves could come into this union, so that we could share even more light on this earthly plane, right? The more love that you own within yourself, the more love that you can share with other beings. And if you have a intimate sexual partner, that you have, both of you are coming together with this beautiful love, sacred love within yourselves, and a sacred love within the other, within that union, the level of light that is gifted is huge. It's unmeasurable, right? And so that's what we've been working to achieve. And there are many of us right now that have either met that being and attempted to bring that union into something, and then there are many of us who are still seeking that that being, the original soul, right? I will let you know that even if the original soul did not come into union with you, that there are others that are capable of taking the soul upgrade. It is okay that the other counterpart did not want to join you on the mission for whatever reason. They don't have to join you on the mission. They have free will. Those of us who are mission driven are in alignment with divine will. And we choose the freedom of our personal free will of creation within divine will. Okay? And so things I have noticed, being of the feminine, it's true, I am of the feminine. So being of the feminine, I, of course, not only have analyzed my own, however, have been really doing this work of understanding why the divine masculine was struggling so much. And I have put out previous videos talking about how the divine masculine, the main issue that they were struggling with was, one, asking for directions. They were so afraid of feeling less than that they were refusing directions given to them. And if you actually gave them a level of direction, they would reject it and it would set them back. Which I think a lot of us women know how that goes. If you actually give them the answer without them having found the answer, it sets the whole process back. So the gift to give them is ways for them to figure it out on their own, asking the right questions, directing them so that they could discover it on their own internally, because they have such resistance. I'm sorry, it's still very much a struggle of mine, that they have such resistance of asking simply for help or directions. It really is a wound to their ego that they didn't discover it on their own. I get it. I think part of it for the feminine was that we have struggled so long and hard to rise back into our power that we took on a little bit too masculine of a role and refused to allow that masculine energy to show up for us. We can do it ourselves, right? We became very harsh and abrupt and overly aggressive and defensive. Actually, overly defensive is really what I would say. Instead of accepting the fact that things just flow easier. It's just kind of nicer when you have a partner that wants to assist you on the journey. And so what if you have to show up vulnerably? So what if you are capable of doing it on your own and actually have to allow a level of vulnerability for that person to come in and show up for you? Because that's a gift. It's a mutual gift on both levels. And so what are we dealing with, right? Those of us who are in our own solo divine unions, there are many of our counterparts who did not join us. Mine, in fact, did not join me. They have decided to be on a completely different timeline. So it is. I've accepted the fact that I love them unconditionally and that they would rather go adventure. They would rather go and venture. And that's okay. I do not need to witness their adventures. It can be too painful, and then bring me back into the emotional loop of not understanding why they can love me as much as they do, but refuse to actually participate in the journey and co-create with me. I'm more upset that they can't co-create for the tribe. I offered that. I offered them to co-create with me for the tribe, to not be in a physical union with me in that level of partnership, but be in a partnership union to support the tribe. And they didn't want that. They wanted to co-create with an ex of theirs. But they didn't even want that fully. And so let me explain. What I'm witnessing is that a lot of the masculines, the masculine energies, they went through the feminine portal and they have discovered their feminine energy, and they're still stuck on learning how to identify some of their emotions. They still are limited in how to express them as well as identify them. But seriously, I mean, us as females struggled with that too. So I can totally respect it. However, it's kind of like they got stuck in the rinse cycle. They have not fully made it way through. And so what you're witnessing is a male energy taking on the feminine softness and nurturing and wanting to even express their being in like this like goddess like way, but they're doing it from a place of greed. What they're doing is, forgive me, but they want to go and just play with other boys. And so the energy that's coming up, it's the archetype of Peter Pan. And they want to be stuck in Never Never Land. Peter Pan and Never Never Land. He's the king of boys. So, no, they've not achieved being a king. In fact, they're not a king, nor are they a warrior, because they've not actually done the work. What they have achieved is being the king of boys, and they get to go and play in Never Never Land. And what they're actually doing is abusing whatever level of power they've achieved throughout the process by playing games with the other feminine, or choosing to take on partners that are weaker than them, because it gives them a sense of power. It lets them feel more powerful instead of walking the path with somebody who's actually in their power, because that makes them feel weak. They are choosing to be in their power with somebody who's needy and requires of them, which is just the codependent relationships that those of us who have done the work refuse to be in. Bottom line. I will not accept codependent relationships, nor will my other higher level beings. They will not accept codependent relationships either. They will be in union with themselves or union with their soul's divine partners. And I do know people who are in union with themselves and in a union with a beautiful partner. It's magical to witness. So why am I saying all of this? Because I don't want you to be fooled. I don't want you to keep going back to an old timeline that no longer exists for you. Continue to move forward on your paths. Yes, you might feel pain. Yes, you might miss them. Wish them well. Realize and know that they don't feel capable. They're showing up for life, the level of capability that they are comfortable in. And that's okay. It's okay. Mourn the loss. Wish them the best. Pray that they eventually make it through the rinse cycle and that they shed those layers and step in. But I will tell you that those of us who are on mission, we do not need boy toys. We do not need Peter Pan wannabe boy band members, okay? That's all they are at this point in time. They're like all in a bunch of boy bands. Peter Pan, king of boys. No. No, we require a warrior. Literal king and warrior. And for you men, I am sorry. I as well am sorry for those females out there that have not shown up for you, that try to force you into codependent relationships and that needy push-pull bullshit, excuse my language. However, it's true, and I'm sorry because when I witness it in people, I'm disgusted. That people will accept it. That we accept that level of behavior as healthy. It's not healthy. It's leechy, it's gross. It's just because it's comfortable, just because it's an old pattern and it brings you a level of comfort doesn't make it right. Eating mac and cheese every day just because it tastes good doesn't make it okay for you. Okay? So, to those who are dealing with the push-pull, the divine partner not showing up for you, be strong, move on. If they're showing signs of, as I refer to the Peter Pan, the Peter Pan boy band wannabe crap, let them go play. They're not worthy. Absolutely not worthy of walking by your side. No. And we don't need that level of weakness in the herd. Okay? And for those of you who are dealing with the, the Madonna whore, that really is another way of looking at it, right? So the one that is over-controlling and utilizing of sexuality inappropriately, or is also, really putting up a struggle of receiving, and allowing herself to be vulnerable. Walk away. There are others. There are so many other beautiful soul beings who have claimed their power and their sovereignty. Choose that. Choose sovereignty. Choose authentic love. Authentic love. The love that creates no codependencies. I love you. Again, this was a theme across the week, within almost every discussion, whether it be amongst friends or clients. And so this information really needed to be heard. And I, as well as I purge layers layers and layers and layers, and just accepted. Continually accepted what it is. And knowing that I won't settle for less. Nor would you want me to. So do yourself a favor and recognize no one wants you to settle for less. Be in your power. We love you. Mwah. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.